Today we're going to talk about the set up position and anchor. Does not want to go so far. You and this bow are like one. It's hard to be consistent if your hand's bobbing around. The more the arrow touches your face, affects the flight of the arrow. Greetings, archers. Coach Yale here with the Atlanta Archery Club. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Welcome to my channel and welcome to the club. Today, we're going to continue with our form series, and we left off with the set position, which I can't encourage you enough to pause and use that set position, right? Our check-in before takeoff to get ready for the second part of the shot sequence. So today we're going to talk about the set up position, draw, and anchor. After we complete our pre-shot check-in checklist, okay? Feet, calves, thighs active, tush active, lower belly active, elbow position correct, hook and grip, tension, right? Pressure, checking in, shoulders relaxed, focus down range, committing to my shot. We then move into the set up position, which is literally raising up the bow. So we're going to begin that process leading with the bow arm. The draw arm follows up. So a lot of times we'll see with newer archers, this arm is coming up and the draw arm is lagging behind. We want to time this. We're moving up together, right? This is a dance. It's a flow. So the bow arm raises up. In general, your bow arm does not need to go much higher than your shoulder, maybe an inch or two above. This joint does not want to go so far up like this. We're going to pause a little bit higher than the shoulder or shoulder height, okay? And we really want to avoid this number, sky draw, okay? Unless, the zombies are coming all the way downfield, we don't really need to do a sky draw. And actually in a competition, right, no good. You'll get thrown out. They don't like that at all, okay? Because of an accidental release, goodbye Charlie, that arrow is out of here. So, from set position to set up position, leading with the bow arm, draw arm follows. Next, we draw and anchor. So let's talk about the draw. I subscribe to the belief that the angular draw versus a straight draw is more biomechanically sound, fit. You're using bigger muscles. And this is through Kissick Lee and the NTS, USA Archery shot cycle, because it just makes sense, right? So a straight draw, let me explain, is if I'm aiming at my target here and I'm just going to pull the string straight back, boom, just like this. Mechanically, you're mostly using bicep muscles here. Yes, of course, your back, but this is a lot of bicep pulling the string back just like this. An angular draw sounds fancy. It simply means movement around a fixed point. In archery, our spine is the fixed point, and we're drawing, okay, in the set position. Our elbow naturally is away from the body because we want the shoulder joint open, right? It's hard to draw a bow this way with the shoulders closed. So we open up the draw side shoulder. We just pop our elbow out naturally. And this would, for a right-handed archer, right? And if you're the target, I'm naturally going to be aimed a little off to the side. And that is on purpose. And if I draw back through my elbow, right, pulling from the back of the arm muscles mostly and the back, okay? So if I'm a little off and this elbow draws straight back, you can see, boom, I'm moving around this fixed point and we line up right with the bullseye in a more biomechanically sound way, right? We're just using the bigger muscles. It makes more sense, right? And my background as a chiropractor, I can't discount it. It's just better for your joints. It's healthier to use the bigger muscles, right? Versus the smaller muscles. Okay. And that's why I think it is a more powerful, better way to draw the bow. Okay. Using the bigger muscles. So here we are in our set position. We raise the bow up, set up position, draw, and anchor. Okay. Now, let's talk about the anchor. When I say anchor, what do you think about? Yes, of course. A ship, right? A boat, a ship's anchor. Exactly. And what does that anchor do for the ship? Holds it steady. That's exactly what our anchor point does for the archer. The anchor is a very intimate relationship between your hook hand and your cheek and your face, okay? Ultimately, we are trying to connect. You and this bow are like one, right? Because this is all ultimately an energetic exercise, right? We are storing our energy and shooting it downrange in the form of an arrow. Okay, so the closer and tighter your anchor is, the straighter and more consistent the shot's going to be. So we call this an anchor, and we use our cheek to hold steady. The further we move this anchor away, and again, a lot of new archers, I don't want to put this string near my face. You don't want to get hurt. I understand that. And that's another part of archery, is learning to trust, right? Love and trust your equipment. You're in this together. The more you can trust that this bow does not want to hurt you, it's in it together with you, the safer you're going to feel when you make this connection. Okay. So specifically right in this video, I'm talking about an instinctive anchor. Okay. However, in general, we want our anchor to be as steady as possible. Anchor, if your hand is away from your face, it's more like a bobber, right? Like if you've ever been fishing on a lake, you have a bobber. It's hard to be consistent if your hand's bobbing around. So we want to find a very steady anchor. Instinctively, I recommend a high anchor. I find that it works both short distances and long distances. It's very accurate and very easy because you can use your cheekbone as a landmark, okay? Right, because, where do I put it? So, to get started, and everyone's face is different, however, everyone has this cheekbone, and I recommend your index finger, your pointer finger is going to find that cheekbone, and you want to rest those fingers on the cheek like this. With instinctive archery and instinctive aiming, we're using our technique. We're going to get into aiming soon, but we're using our eyes, right, to focus on where we want to shoot. We're not using a sight where there's a reference of a pin. So the closer I can get my arrow to underneath my eyeball, whoops, not in my eye, right? Because I'm using my eye wherever I'm looking instinctively, and I'm calibrating it with where my bow is, the arrow's going there. So better than having your arrow off to the side or up front. Also, when your arrow is here, okay, it's not going to touch your face. The more the arrow touches your face, it affects the flight of the arrow, right? So if I'm here, and I release the string, it never is touching your face, which also helps the accuracy of your arrow. So I recommend the anchor, no gaps. We want a tight fit. And also, a lot of new archers are going to draw the bow back and this pinky comes up. okay? Because you want to find this anchor where that pinky comes up. The issue with that is that if this pinky comes up, you're twisting the bowstring. So we want a home for Mr. Pinky. And so you could either thumb and pinky together, okay? And they're pushing into the cheek, or this pinky can find a home at the bottom of the jaw, stabilizing your anchor point. Very, very effective to help you to become very, very consistent. It's crucial to find this anchor point. And look, everybody's a little bit different, right? Our anatomy's a little bit different. Our face, our hands, our flexibility, our ability to even roll this arm under to get the jaw like this. The key is consistency and really having a nice, tight anchor, right, without a space. The more intimate that your hook can be with your anchor point, the more consistent your shots are going to be. So give that a whirl. If you're brand new to archery and you're trying instinctive archery, you don't have a sight or anything, I do find that the 3 under, and we talked about that in hook and grip, is more effective. It's more forgiving, right? You're going to be more accurate. If your technique isn't just perfect, it's a little bit more forgiving for new archers to have this 3 under and set your nice tight hook just like this, your anchor point just like this. Okay, so I look forward to seeing you in the next video. You have a beautiful day, and I look forward to seeing you on the range.